Well, my name's Andy Simpson. I'm guessing some people watching this will know me and have known me for years. Others may not know me at all. Um, currently I work as a school teacher. I'm a deputy head in a local secondary school. Yeah, if Jesus hadn't taken hold of my life, I look back at me and where I was, I think I would be very hard. I think I'd be very driven. I think I'd be very selfish. I think I'd be very lonely. And I see all those as things that I could see the seeds of those in my life as a young adult. And in particular, I think I would have absolutely no sense of purpose, which would be eating me up. When I left school, I was fortunate. I was able to have a number of months off before I went to university. I did a number of different activities, but one of them, which, looking back at it now, seems one of these slightly crazy things you're doing when you're young. But I set out with a friend to climb 200 of the 3,000-foot peaks in Scotland, the Munros, in one single walk. So we set off with our backpacks. It was an interesting time. It was fairly traumatic. Unfortunately, my friend had a couple of accidents, and the route we had was to cross the Cairngorm Plateau and take in all the peaks on the way. So I thought, well, that's fine, I'll do it on my own. I must have been mad. I remember spending the night in this bothy, and I was in my 5-season sleeping bag, and I put my stove on as well because it was so cold, just freezing. And the next morning I got up to head on further up the plateau to climb to the peak of Dewey. And as I got up there, it was complete whiteout. There was cloud everywhere. The wind was so strong you couldn't tell if you were walking uphill or downhill. All you could tell was whether you're going into the wind or not. The ground was covered in ice, and I thought, actually, if I stand still, I'll just gradually drift along on the ground. The wind was so strong. There were various sort of peat hags, and I was walking along, and I would walk up the peat hag, and then there was a bit of a drop down, maybe 2 feet, and I'd jump down into the little dip underneath it, and I'd walk up the next one and jump down the next. And I got to one, and I was just about to jump, and I just put my foot down, and something stopped me. And I stopped, and I looked, and just, for a second, the cloud just cleared. And I realised I was standing on the edge of a precipice. That was, at a guess, we're talking about 1,000 feet. And I walked back, and I completed my walk. And I reflected on that. I thought, what stopped me? Whatever stopped me? Where I was there, I was a driven young man who probably very foolishly decided to cross the Cairngorm Plateau on his own in a whiteout. And I was just about to step over the edge, and something stopped me. And you might think, well, gosh, did this guy become a Christian? I didn't become a Christian at that point, but something lodged in me very deeply. And time passed. I went to uni. I met various Christians who told me what it was to be a Christian. And I think I joined a discussion group. I was interested. I thought there's undeniably something here, but I was quite resistant as well. And gradually, over a period of time, the different questions I had, I guess, got settled. But I realised that there was a wrestling in me, because I realised God had a claim on my life. And when I got back to college, it was a few weeks later, they had one of these university-wide missions. And I remember, somebody who was attached to our college, and this discussion group I've been part of, we said, well, we'll all go to the talk tonight. So we went to the talk, and the guy explained the gospel the way they do, talked about, we've all fallen short of God's glory, talked about Jesus has died for us. And he said, you can respond now, you can receive Jesus as your Lord and Saviour. And it was very simple. I was ready, I prayed the prayer. for me, the difference was I got the idea of Jesus being a saviour, but it took me a few months to wrestle with the idea of Jesus being my Lord. And when I realised that I couldn't resist it any longer, I said yes to God. It's fantastic to look back. And I think as I've formally tried to talk you through that, it makes me quite emotional actually. And I think, I guess it's just because I can look back and I can see so many ups and downs, but God has been so faithful all through those years. Sometimes when life is tough, when life is perplexing, you can't see your way through, God's word says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. To me that's just fantastic, and I can say, you know what, life is incredibly complex and I can't see my way through this particular problem at the moment, but I can trust in the Lord with all my heart, and I know that somehow He's got it. He's got this one somehow.